Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice, where we do the songs that you recommend the most. I recently listened to Pink Floyd for the first time, and you all practically screamed at me that I absolutely had to listen to The Great Gig in the Sky, so that's what I'm going to do. This is apparently one of the only Pink Floyd songs that features a female vocalist, which I think will be very interesting, and we're going to be checking out the Pulse recording version per your recommendations. Let's get to it.
Should I be dying? There's no reason for it. We've got to go sometime.
This intro is strangely soothing. I'm not sure who's doing the narration. It looks like, I think that it's Richard Wright that is playing the keys. I'm not totally positive. I'm still becoming familiar with the members of Pink Floyd. But he's got a mic that's close to him, so he might be doing the narration. I know that he was one of the main writers on the song. I do think that this synthesizer slider instrument that David Gilmour is playing is really interesting. I've never seen it before. It looks fun. He even has some control over some vibrato by jiggling the knob, which is kind of cool. Now I'm going to go back. It starts out very dark with this minor, and then additional bass there and unusual modulation too. Unusual harmony, I should say, not modulation. And back to that minor key. Feels like it establishes minor, but it's going to shift and become major here in just a moment. Still minor. And now it starts to feel a little happier somehow, or like, okay.
Dying. Any time will do. I don't mind. Why should I be dying? There's no reason for it. We've got to go sometime.
That's profound. It's beautiful. Right? Feels very major. Okay, what a powerful singing entrance, first of all. Really surprising, especially after that more subdued intro. The way they built that energy up very quickly, and then her voice came in, it just really was instantly grabbing, definitely had a pow to it. I dig the strength in her voice, and I dig the way she's playing with her vocal registers. And I think this might actually be one of the best examples of female vocal registration that we've had on the channel. This is really fun. So she is playing a bunch between her chest voice and her head voice. And when it's chest voice, it sounds like it's thicker, it's stronger. There's a little more closure in the chords, so you might hear like a more condensed sound in some ways. And when it's head voice, it's going to usually it's going to sound higher in pitch for now. And you hear a lightness to it when she flips up to that. And she's also playing noticeably with the break in between, almost yodeling between it at times. So I'm going to go back and talk about a few more of these things. By the way, Sam Brown is the singer here. Is it here? Here. That's a great build. Sudden. Okay, let's just talk about that right here. We're going to get this set and very clear on when she's in chest and head voice. Chest to start with. Head. Slips back into chest. Wow. And great breath control. The oh that she's doing there where she's flipping, that's basically yodeling between chest voice and head voice there. It's amazing how much expression the human voice can have on just one vowel. Well, it's a diphthong, right? O is a diphthong. It basically has two vowel sounds contained with it, an open O and an oo, which is much more closed. And sometimes she even modifies the vowel so it becomes when she flips up, which she's totally allowed to do. This is essentially a vocalese, meaning that's all sung on a vowel at this point. I don't know if we'll get some more words later. I don't know what to expect. So I'm going to come back here again. This is really cool. Back to her entrance. So much emotion. Wow. I'm really curious. I know that there have been other singers who have done this part. I'm curious if they do their own interpretations, if they are improvising, if they're doing an improvisation, or if it's something that's written down that they need to follow. Please let me know, especially if you're in the live premiere chat with me. Let me know what other trends there have been in singing this, or if it is really following specific pitches. Super curious about that. I'm gonna go back a little bit more. She's really accurate with the way she's flipping between head and chest. It can be easy to lose a little bit of accuracy when you're purposely leaning into the break like that, and she's being extremely precise. That breath is great. Yeah. Whoa. Wow. I feel like we're going into a shift here, so I'm going to pause it there. The grit was very exciting when she added that. I know that the song is about death, and it really feels like she's struggling with that idea in this first part, that it's not like the peaceful death that we had, or acceptance of it that we had in the instrumental interlude, or I should say prelude. But this section has felt like it's a struggle against it, especially when we got to this grittier part, which is very fascinating and cool. Want to take just a second to talk a little more. My goodness, the words today, they are difficult. I blame it on pregnancy brain. I want to talk a little more about chest and head voice. Chest voice, in females in particular, right? And head voice. Chest voice is often attributed to lower pitches, and head voice is often attributed to higher pitches. But this isn't always the case. And when she was flipping back and forth between lows and highs, you could hear distinguishable tone qualities between the two, and it made it really clear which one was which. But in a very experienced singer's voice, there's going to be a lot of overlap options between these two registers, and you get to choose essentially which register you want to use to convey a particular emotion or tone quality. So professionals will take their chest voice and they'll work it higher and higher and higher, so you get some crossover notes. And they'll take their head voice and they'll work it lower and lower and lower, so you get crossover notes. You want to have at least a few pitches that you can cross over and flip back and forth between head and chest voice on. But ideally, have an octave or more of notes that can be sung in either register, so that you have lots of options for how you want to express something. I imagine that she probably has a very large overlap range, especially considering how much control she's demonstrating here. Let's go back just a little bit. Oh, back a little more. The expression there is beautiful. Wow. Ooh. I just feel so moved. Sometimes when you have all vowels like this, people won't connect to it as much, but it is also an option for a person to attribute what feelings they have in the moment to just vocal expression. It's really, really beautiful. Wow. And it has elements of classical composition in it as well. It's the way that it is continually evolving is beautiful and gorgeous, and wow, I'm gushing a little bit about it. There are a couple of other singers we just saw. I'm not actually sure which one is which, but it's Claudia Fontaine and Durga McBrooms, I think, are the other two singers. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it was so beautiful the way that they handed off from Sam to this current woman. It was really flawless. At first I thought it was Sam that was singing. Let's go back. Oh, no, that's not. I think, yeah, right there. So they start in the same pitch area as where they've just left off, and with that same kind of airier quality in the head voice. So it's just a flawless handoff. Oh, back a little more. What's this one? And there's the handoff here. Huh. Nice cry off of that too. That reattack with the slides into it is really good. And the way that when all three of them are singing together, it felt so weepy and mournful. It's just the voices, they feel like they're past lyrics at this point. They're just expressing emotion. It's really gorgeous. Oh my gosh. These women are doing such a great job of just connecting to lines that feel like weeping. I keep having these waves of emotion hit me from this. This is so beautifully done. Very interesting. This third woman that's singing here, you'll notice that she has a little less rounding in her mouth, and she's singing more of an than an vowel. People, when they're doing vocalises, sometimes will choose certain vowels that they just feel better in. A lot of singers have optimal vowels or favorite vowels that they really like. For example, I much prefer an E vowel over an A vowel, and some singers really like A vowels. So, it's very dependent on the person. I want to go back a little bit and notice the vowel shift. Oh. Let's go back here. We're getting kind of like oh from her. Wow, nice little fry added in there. The breathiness in her voice and the softness that's coming back into it makes it feel like this is perhaps more of a release, not as much frustration or struggle as we first heard in Sam's voice. I'm not sure though. This is, just my interpretation. You could very well have a different one. It's very open to interpretation as we don't have any lyrics. But definitely the airy releases that kind of fade into silence. In particular, they feel like last gasps of sound to me in a lot of cases. Wow, this is amazing. Notice all three of these women have had very organic physical movements to go with it. I very strongly encourage anyone that is performing, that is singing in a recording studio as well, to allow some natural movements in the body. They help with expression a lot. You don't want to have habitual movements that could be a tic essentially, but they have movements where they're pulling their arms out, where they'll almost do like a little shoulder squeeze as if comforting themselves. These things are really, really good, and they help bring that expression into your voice. Let's go back here. Wow. Whoa. I wasn't quite ready for it to end, but the way she backs up from the mic to take the sound away here is really, really good and effective. Wow. This is such a moving song. I love the audacity in the choice of just doing it on a vowel. All of the singing happened on a vowel. We had some narration at the beginning that had words to set the scene, but otherwise it was just about emoting and honestly the emotions of death and maybe the struggle or acceptance of it. And there could be a lot more emotions happening in there as well, and different ideas for how it could be applied. Wow, I feel like this was just a masterpiece. The harmony underneath and the way that there was this build and then release at the end, right? It makes me want to go back and listen to it over and over and over, and also listen to other live performances. I imagine that this is so dependent upon how the singers are phrasing along with the instrumentalists to build and then release some of that tension. Wow, what an amazing suggestion. If you guys would like to see some more analysis of some classic rock songs, you can check that out in a playlist over here. But really, I just have to say thank you so much. I really loved getting to deep dive into this song today. So thank you very much for your recommendations. I'll see you soon.